The first group of Russian jets have returned to southern Russia from Syria. But Russia's Deputy Defense Minister says it will continue its airstrikes. President Vladimir Putin says Russia has achieved its main goal since launching airstrikes in September. But Russia's air bases and naval facilities will remain active. Syria says the plan was coordinated with the regime and has been considered for some time. Now, Russia's military withdrawal has come as a surprise in Geneva at the UN-mediated indirect peace talks. UN envoy for Syria, Staffan de Mistura, is meeting the Syrian opposition after holding talks with the Syrian regime on Monday. The opposition spoke after meeting de Mistura, where they also marked the 5th anniversary of the first wide-scale peaceful protests in Syria. Well, John Brain is following all those negotiations in Geneva and joins us now. John, I believe you've been speaking to the opposition, to the HNC. What have they been saying?
Well, as you can imagine, the main topic of conversation here has been the announcement of that Russian withdrawal from Syria. Not for the first time, President Putin has caused a surprise to the international community, and it is really having an effect already on the talks here in Geneva. Well, I've been speaking to the spokesman for the High Negotiations Committee, Salim Al-Mustal, and this was his reaction to the news of that Russian withdrawal.
Let's see, it will be really... we will be happy to see action on the ground there, pulling out the troops is important, to all Syrians, and I believe this will eliminate the power of Assad and really maybe put a pressure on him. But I believe it's too early to judge that, until we see. Will it be a full withdrawal or will it be, partial? This is important.
If it is a full withdrawal, how decisive a moment could that be?
If it's a full withdrawal, I believe we will see a political solution in Syria very soon. We will see a successful negotiation here at the United Nations. There are really good signs, and we'll wait and see. We're patient. We've waited a long time for the crimes of this Assad, and we can wait another more day to really judge, the decision of Putin to see if he will really implement that right away in Syria, and I hope, to see it soon.
There is a thought that Putin is putting pressure on al-Assad now. Is it still a red line for you that al-Assad has no role in Syria's future?
It's not only me, it's all Syrians who really don't accept Assad any longer. After, these crimes, after 500 victims, 500,000, victims of his parallel bombs, of his airstrikes, I don't think there is a place for Assad in Syria any longer, but there is. The only place is court. He should really go to court. We will not, executioner, we will not do anything, but we will send him to court and he will get his, what he deserves.
Well, that was Salim Al-Mustal, the spokesman for the High Negotiations Committee. That's the main opposition group here at Geneva, giving his response both to the Russian withdrawal and again emphasising that the opposition don't see any role for Bashar al-Assad in the future of Syria. Well, the Russian announcement does give some perspective to Monday's talks between the UN and the regime representatives. The regime representatives came out very positively from that meeting, talking about their desire to find a negotiation. Now it seems that maybe they knew that Moscow was about to make this announcement, and the pressure is on them to find a solution.
John, we're 2 days into the official talks now. We've had this announcement from Russia as well. Is there a feeling around those talks where you are in Geneva that there's more confidence now that they might actually lead to something tangible?
I think very much so. There was already more confidence this time than last time when the talks broke down before they'd really begun. That was because airstrikes were still continuing in Syria. There was still violence. This time, of course, it's all taking place against the background of the cessation of hostilities, which has largely held. The Russian announcement, though, has really given it more momentum. That is, to quote a term, a game changer. And so there is a real feeling here that this time there could be a positive outcome.
OK, John, thank you very much.